Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Black Methodists for Church Renewal, and we're fortunate to have with us two persons to talk about the Black Methodist Church Renewal project. Reverend Ken Edmondson, who is the coordinator for the caucus for the Methodist Black Church Renewal activity, as well as Minister Celinda Hughes, who is also involved with the effort toward the Methodist Church and renewal, as well as other activities associated with Gordon United Methodist Church. And of course, let me welcome the two of you, Pastor Edmondson, as well as you, Minister Hughes, to the show. And of course, to talk about something that's very, very important, because I think it has to do with the Methodist Church. And a lot of folks might know about the Methodist Church, but they might not be that familiar with this aspect of it, the Black caucus within the Methodist Church. And we want to talk about that today. But before we start, Brother Edmondson, let's see if we can have you to give our audience some information in reference to your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in terms of leading you to where you are. And of course, after that, Minister Hughes will give us the same, the basic kind of information, and we'll talk about the efforts following that. Okay,
well, Dr. Haney, I thank you for having me on your show today. I'm a native Nashvilleian, grew up here in Nashville, attended school here in Nashville, got my undergraduate degree from Trevecca Nazarene College and went on to seminary in Atlanta and came back to pastor in Fort Campbell, basically, and then another church, and then on back here to Nashville, to John West, where I currently am. So God has been moving me, and as United Methodists, you know, pastors, we are itinerant, and so we move from place to place, and so I've been able to serve the church in numerous cities for about 28 years now, so I'm truly blessed to be a part of the United Methodist Church.
And Minister Hughes?
I'm actually a PK. My mother is an elder in the AME Church in Panama City, Florida. I grew up in Panama City, Florida, moved to Nashville in '86, and began serving in local church ministry. My educational background is I have a Bachelor of Science in Business and an MBA in Business Administration. Recently, I've accepted a call to ministry, and I'm serving at Gordon Memorial in that capacity.
Very good. Go
on. I work primarily with children and youth, work also to prepare young people for pulpit leadership, liturgical dance, music ministry, and I serve to assist the pastor for special efforts related to worship at Gordon Memorial.
Very good. You know, Reverend Edmondson, one of the most important things about the activity here is that we're dealing with the Methodist Church. And a lot of folks might not understand that much about the Methodist Church, and so if we could sort of get sort of a sketch of the Methodist Church and how you became involved not only with the church, but how the effort toward renewal within the church among Black ministers and congregations.
Okay. The Methodist Church has a long history going back all the way to John Wesley, who was considered the founding father, even though he did not intend on starting a new denomination, but it evolved to be one. It was in 1964 where the church had gone through so many changes already that they decided that it was time for a new day. And they began looking at a merger with the Evangelical United Brethren Church. And this actually took place in April of 1968 in Dallas, Texas, where the Methodist Church and the Evangelical United Brethren came together and formed what we call now the United Methodist Church. One of the problems, though, was that during that time, the Methodist Church was split into 7 jurisdictional areas. They were geographical in nature, except for one, which was a central jurisdiction. And it maintainedly had African Americans in it who had to journey from as far away as Michigan or Utah, wherever, all the way to wherever the conference was going to be held that particular year. So in 1964, with the merger with the Evangelical United Brethren, the merger took place where the central jurisdiction was dissolved and everyone became a part of the United Methodist Church.
And so the central jurisdiction played a significant role in terms of placing most of the African-American ministers in a general district, and all those outside of that district had to come to that district in order to serve the church. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, sir. That's what we're saying. That the central jurisdiction basically had its own hierarchy of bishops and elders and district superintendents. And with the merger, all of those were assimilated together into what is now the United Methodist Church.
Very good. And of course, what we'll do, Mrs. Hughes, or Minister Hughes, is to give you an opportunity during this second segment to talk about the worship aspect in reference to this. But I think that's essentially what we wanted to deal with. And while we get ready for our first commercial break, we'll come back and deal with that. And of course, we'll be back with you following this very, very short commercial break. The topic is Black Methodist